Hey there, Caleb Dennison for Digital Trends. I'm here at DT headquarters in beautiful Portland, Oregon, and today we're checking out the Samsung Q9F QLED TV. This TV is kind of a big deal. I've been making a big deal about it for the past few months, and the reason why is because it is the best LED TV Samsung has ever made. I would argue it is possibly the best LED TV that's been made, period. Certainly one of the best TVs of 2018. That's a lot of best ofs. And today we're doing something a little bit different in an unboxing video because there's so much that's unique about this television from a setup and design perspective that we wanted to kind of break that out into its own video so we can take a really close look at it. There's a lot that makes this TV special from that regard. And that way, when we get to the review video, we can concentrate on the picture quality and the user interaction elements of that TV, which are also quite stunning. So without further ado, let's dig in. Here's everything that comes in the box with the TV. There is some product literature, and I may actually have to look at that this time because I'm not clear on how this stand goes together. More on that in a second. We get some batteries for the Samsung One remote. I'm a big fan of this thing. I'll show you how this works out later. You'll notice there is just one power cord, and that's because you only need to provide power to the One Connect box. What's really nice about this year's QLED, the flagship here, is that power is delivered to the TV through this fiber optic cable. Now, the cable itself is a little more chunky than it was last year, but it's still very slim, and this will very easily disappear on the wall. You could also paint it if you wanted to, and you can run it inside the wall if you need to as well. Custom connectors on that. That all goes to the One Connect box here, which you'll notice is quite a bit chunkier. That's because the power supply is built into this box now. So not only is it larger, it's also heavier, but it's still no bigger than the width of, say, a standard AV receiver. So you should be able to fit it in with all of your gear. On the back, we see the power port that I mentioned earlier. There is a spot for an antenna. We also have a digital optical audio output, Ethernet port, and then we get 4 HDMI inputs as well as that One Connect connection that I mentioned earlier. Also, don't miss out that there's 3 USB ports on the side for external media connection. Then finally, there's some mounting hardware to go along with the stand, which is this metallic sort of matte black. And in case you're wondering, this is not plasticky. This is actual metal. It feels really good, and I think it's gonna look great on the TV. So we normally don't talk about the back of the TV much, but you know, Samsung put some effort here. Obviously, they have a textured backing here. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a fingerprint magnet, but you won't be looking at it a whole lot, so maybe that's not a big deal. We see here that we've got the 4 VISA mounting pattern holes for a standard mount, so you can use any kind of wall mount that you want to. However, if you want to get this thing right smack up against the wall, Samsung has made that possible. If we lift this panel here, you'll see we have a slightly recessed custom Samsung mounting hardware area. Samsung sells a mount specifically to get this TV right smack up against the wall. And now you carry that idea of a perfectly flush mount down here to the connection cable. Samsung, this is really slick. They've created this 90-degree connection cable angle, the back of which is even the same finish as the rest of the TV. You plug that in right here, all right? So it's flush with the back of the TV, and then this little fiber optic cable can be neatly routed through the channel so that it comes straight down the bottom of the TV, flush. The stand assembly is actually really super easy. We just sort of line it up with the groove at the top and the bottom and slide it in. At that point, our screw holes will be lined up and we just get to screwing. Just repeat that on the other side, and then we're gonna wanna flip this TV over. With that other leg on, we just flip the TV over so that it is panel side up, and then we've got this one last bar that just slips into the bottom, and then 2 security screws, and we're just about done. Things are already starting to look pretty stinking good, but before we can enjoy the TV in all its glory, we need to remove these protective panels. It's not a big deal. There's a little tab here, just pull on it, and then the adhesive, doesn't that sound nice, will come right off. Also, take note that there's a ton of this protective plastic around all of the edges, even over the logo, so be sure that you remove this so that you can get all of the shininess that you paid for. All right, well, now that we've got it all unwrapped up, the Q9F looks gorgeous. It's got a super slim bezel. It's got these metal accents. The stand, I could take it or leave it. At least it's understated. It's not trying to be gaudy, but it does protrude from the front of the TV a little bit. So you'll need a little bit of extra entertainment stand space if you're gonna go that way. Otherwise, I think it's just a really gorgeous TV. And even though it's a little bit thicker due to its full array local dimming backlight system, it still has that feel of a super slim TV. And if you do the ultra slim wall mount that Samsung offers, I think it's gonna look great on your wall. Here's the Samsung One remote I mentioned earlier. The reason I like it is because it's super clean and simple. You have basic buttons, home, microphone, up, down, left, right, enter, some volume and channel controls here, but most of the interface is actually on the screen. And it's that on-screen interface that we use to set up the TV, only this time we won't be using the TV screen, we'll be using our phones. All right, so I have a Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus here. You can actually use any phone with a Samsung SmartThings app on it. Make sure you set it up so it turns on Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and can actually detect the TV. Now, a feature that's coming soon, I think in 1 or 2 months, Samsung will add this to the S7 or better, will be automatic detection. So you don't even have to open up the app, it'll just pop up when you turn on the TV. I'll go ahead and do that now, and I'll mention there's like a 25-second video that you can't skip. Get over it, it's pretty short. And eventually you'll get to a screen like this that prompts you for setup. At that point, you want to open up your SmartThings app and you'll be off to the races. So as soon as I open the SmartThings app, it recognizes I have a Q9 series TV and it prompts me to get things set up. So once I press go, it wants me to go ahead and verify my information by entering a PIN number, and then it's going to continue the setup process, and it'll register the TV to my Samsung account if I have one. It's going to share my Wi-Fi and password information so that it's immediately connected to the internet. And here's one really super slick feature. Once this feature gets rolled out in 2 months, it'll also share the login and password information for all of my critical streaming apps, including Hulu and Google Play and others, so that I don't have to tap them out on the phone, which can take a long time if you're subscribed to a lot of services. Here's another critical part of the amazing setup process. Connect whatever you've got to the TV, be it your Xbox, PlayStation, cable box, Roku, whatever. And it's gonna automatically detect each of those devices and program the one remote so that you can control all of them with this one remote. It's a completely automated process and it works amazingly well. As far as out-of-box experiences go, it does not get any better than the Samsung Q9F. I think that Roku comes close, LG WebOS is not far behind, but nobody has the kind of automation that Samsung has, from the automatic login to automatically detecting all your devices. I mean, pretty much anybody can set this TV up, and after that, it's extremely easy to use. I like the Tizen interface. I also like the overall design. I think that One Connect cable with power is a game changer in this industry for people who want to self-install their TVs, and the fact that you can put it smack up against the wall, that's also really impressive too. That's a lot, and we haven't even gotten to the picture quality or overall user experience yet. So keep it tuned to Digital Trends. We'll come through with our full review video very soon. For now, that's the unboxing of the Samsung Q9F. I'm Caleb Dennison, and we'll see you on the next one.